You know that orange chicken sizzling in the wok? Most of it isn't cooked fresh. It's reheated. The wok show is there to make you believe it's fresh, when in reality, it was prepped weeks ago in a central kitchen. What you're eating is fast food theater, not Chinese cooking. Number 5 on the list is Chowking, the Filipino-Chinese hybrid that can't decide what it wants to be. If you're not on the West Coast, consider yourself lucky. Chowking has about 15 US locations, and eating there is basically Russian roulette with your dinner. I tested 3 different locations with the exact same order. The results, completely different meals. Location 1, decent pork buns, edible fried rice. Location 2, portions so small it felt like half the order was missing. Location 3, chicken that tasted like it had been sitting in the back since last Tuesday. A former employee put it bluntly, each franchise owner sources ingredients differently. There's no real standardization. What you get depends on how cheap that owner wants to be that week. Think about that. You're paying around $11 for a meal that might be fine, or might be garbage. Customer reviews back it up. Real quotes. Ordered the same thing twice, got 2 completely different meals. The sweet and sour pork had 3 pieces of actual pork. I've had better Chinese food at a gas station. The concept could have worked. Filipino and Chinese flavors together isn't a bad idea. But when you can't even guarantee the rice will taste the same from one store to the next, you've failed at the fundamentals. My rule's simple. If employees from different locations can't even agree on what the food should taste like, run. Chinese Gourmet Express, the generic mall food court chain that's everywhere and nowhere at the same time. You've walked past one 100 times. That steam table with mysterious meat swimming in red sauce. The bored teenager behind the counter who looks like they've given up on life. Here's what I discovered that should terrify you. That food sitting under the heat lamps, it's been there for hours. Sometimes all day. FDA guidelines say hot food should be discarded after 4 hours. Chinese Gourmet Express? They have a different interpretation of fresh. I watched one location for an entire afternoon. The same tray of orange chicken sat there from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. They just kept stirring it occasionally to make it look fresh. A former employee revealed their training. We were told to add fresh sauce to old food to make it look new. If chicken looked dry, add more sauce. If vegetables looked wilted, mix them with newer ones. That's not food service. That's food deception. The quality varies wildly because there's no corporate oversight. Each mall location is basically doing whatever they want. Some might be okay. Most are serving you lunch from yesterday. Customer complaints are brutal. Got food poisoning twice from the same location. The beef and broccoli had no beef, just broccoli swimming in brown water. I bit into their egg roll and grease literally poured out. When your business model is heat and serve whatever didn't sell yesterday, you're not a restaurant. You're a food disposal service charging restaurant prices. Speaking of disposal services, wait until you hear about Manchu Wok. Manchu Wok, the Canadian chain that proves even our polite neighbors to the north can serve terrible food. This place is still in business purely through inertia. They have about 15 US locations, mostly in malls, and every single one is a monument to mediocrity. Here's what made me genuinely sad. I found reviews from 2010 saying the food was okay. Reviews from 2015 saying it was getting worse. Reviews from 2020 saying inedible. And reviews from this year saying, and I quote, "I'd rather eat the mall directory than eat here again." 13 years of steady decline, and they haven't changed anything. The food is consistently described with 3 words: dry, mushy, tasteless. How do you make food that's both dry and mushy? It's almost impressive in its awfulness. I ordered their signature General Tso's chicken. What arrived was nuggets of something that might have been chicken. drowning in sauce that tasted like sugar mixed with food coloring. The rice was somehow both undercooked and overcooked. The vegetables were... I honestly couldn't identify them. A mall security guard told me something revealing. We get more complaints about Manchu Wok than any other food court vendor. People demanding refunds, getting sick, arguing about portion sizes. When mall security knows your restaurant by reputation, and that reputation is the place people complain about, you've failed. But at least Manchu Wok was never good. What happened to Leeann Chin is actually tragic. Leeann Chin. The Midwest chain that's like watching your favorite athlete get old and embarrassing. If you're from Minnesota or Wisconsin, this one hurts. Because Leeann Chin used to be good. Really good. The original Leeann Chin was a real person, a Chinese immigrant who opened her first restaurant in 1980. She cared about quality. She cared about authenticity. She built something special. Then she sold the company, and everything went to hell. I talked to employees who worked there 15 years ago versus today. Their stories are heartbreaking. We used to prep vegetables fresh every morning. Now they come pre-cut in bags. The sauces were made from scratch. Now they're from concentrate. We had actual wok stations. Now it's mostly microwaves and steam tables. Longtime customers are devastated. One woman told me, "I've been eating at Leeann Chin since college. Last month, I took my daughter there for the first time. I was so embarrassed. It tasted like cafeteria food." The portions have shrunk. The quality has tanked. The prices have somehow gone up. It's the trifecta of failure. Current employees admit they don't eat the food. "I work here and I bring my lunch." That should tell you everything. This is what happens when a restaurant's soul gets sold to the highest bidder. The name remains, but everything that made it special is gone. But even Leeann Chin's decline can't match the massive deception happening at America's biggest Chinese chain. Panda Express, 2,458 locations, $2 billion in annual revenue, and the biggest lie in fast food. They want you to think they're gourmet Chinese food. They talk about wok cooking and fresh ingredients. Their marketing shows happy families sharing healthy meals. Here's the truth they're hiding. That orange chicken you love? Let me break down what you're actually eating. 490 calories, 23 grams of fat, 820 milligrams of sodium, and 19 grams of sugar. In one serving. That's more sugar than a Snickers bar. But here's what they don't tell you. A former Panda Express cook revealed their process to me. The chicken comes pre-battered and frozen. We deep fry it in oil that gets changed maybe once a week if we're lucky. Then we toss it in sauce that's basically corn syrup with orange flavoring. The vegetables? Pre-cut, pre-blanched, reheated in a microwave, then tossed in the wok for show. The wok cooking. They advertise? It's theater. The real cooking happened in a factory months ago. I watched them prepare a fresh batch of Beijing beef. The meat was gray before they added the sauce. Gray. They covered it in so much red sauce you couldn't see the actual meat anymore. But here's what really made me angry. They're kids' meals. They're marketing this sugar bomb food to children. A kid's meal with orange chicken and chow mein contains 790 calories and 1,460 milligrams of sodium. That's more than a Big Mac meal. Nutrition experts have been sounding the alarm for years. Dr. Lisa Young from NYU called Panda Express diabetes in a takeout container. The Center for Science in the Public Interest ranked them as one of the worst fast food chains for health. Yet they're everywhere. They're in airports, malls, universities. They're feeding this garbage to college students who don't know better. When I confronted Panda Express corporate about this, they sent me a statement about offering variety and customer choice. They didn't address the sugar content. They didn't address the sodium. They didn't address anything real. Panda Express isn't Chinese food. It's American junk food in a Chinese costume. All right, I need you to take a breath. I know that was a lot of bad news. If you've been eating at these places, you're probably feeling a mix of anger and regret right now. But here's where this gets interesting. There are Chinese fast food chains doing it right. Real ingredients, actual cooking, food that doesn't make you feel like garbage afterward. And one of them is doing something so revolutionary, it's going to change how you think about Chinese takeout forever. If you want to know where to actually get Chinese food that respects your body and your wallet, hit that subscribe button right now. Because what I'm about to reveal will save you from years of terrible takeout decisions. Payway Asian Kitchen. The chain that proves fast food doesn't have to mean fake food. They have about 120 locations across the US. And here's what makes them different. Everything is made to order, actually made, not reheated, not microwaved, made. I watched them prepare my meal from start to finish. Fresh vegetables cut that day, chicken that looked like actual chicken, a real wok with real fire. The cook was actually cooking, not just stirring pre-made slop. Here's what shocked me. They have a full allergen menu. Gluten-free options that aren't just remove the sauce. Vegetarian dishes that aren't afterthoughts. They actually care about dietary restrictions. A Payway cook told me, "We prep everything fresh each morning. If we don't use it that day, it gets tossed. No exceptions." The difference is immediate. The vegetables have crunch. The meat has texture. You can taste individual flavors instead of just sweet or salty. Customer reviews consistently mention one word: fresh. It actually tastes fresh. The vegetables are crispy. The chicken doesn't taste like it was frozen. Entrees run $12 to $15, which is maybe $3 more than Panda Express. For that extra $3, you're getting food that won't put you in a food coma. But here's what really matters: consistency. I ate at 3 different Payway locations. Same dish each time, nearly identical quality. That's rare in fast food. They're not trying to be authentic Chinese cuisine. They're trying to be good Asian American fast food. And they succeed. But if Payway impressed me, Pickup Sticks absolutely shocked me. Pickup Sticks. The West Coast chain that's doing something nobody else will do: cooking vegetables like they matter. They have about 40 locations, mostly in California. And if you're in their territory, you need to pay attention. Here's what separates them from everyone else: the vegetable to meat ratio. At Panda Express, you get 3 sad pieces of broccoli floating in sauce. At Pickup Sticks, vegetables are half the meal. I watched them prepare a chicken and broccoli dish. The broccoli was fresh, green, and abundant. The chicken was white meat, properly cooked, not drowning in sauce. It looked like food, not a science experiment. But here's what really got me. They offer pickup light options: lower sodium, less oil, more vegetables. A Chinese fast food chain that acknowledges health exists. A Pickup Sticks manager explained their philosophy. "We assume our customers want to feel good after eating." Crazy concept, right? The reviews back this up. "I can eat here and not feel disgusting afterward." Finally, Chinese takeout that doesn't require a nap. My kids actually eat the vegetables. They use rice bran oil instead of cheap vegetable oil. It has a higher smoke point, which means less oxidation, which means healthier food. This is the kind of detail that matters, but nobody talks about. Prices are reasonable, most entrees under $10. You're getting restaurant-quality food at fast food prices. The founder, Charlie Jiang, still owns the company. It's not some private equity firm squeezing every penny of profit. It's a guy who cares about the food he's serving. But even Pickup Sticks can't match the absolute revolution happening at my #1 pick. Haidilao Hot Pot. This is going to change everything you think about Chinese fast food. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hot pot isn't fast food. You're right. It's not drive-through fast. But hear me out, because this is the future. Haidilao has 16 US locations, and they're expanding rapidly. For $20 to $25, you get all-you-can-eat fresh ingredients. Not frozen, not processed. Fresh. Here's what blew my mind. You control everything. The spice level, the cooking time, what goes in your pot. You're the chef. No mystery meat, no hidden ingredients, no wondering what you're eating. I watched families spending 2 hours here, laughing, cooking together, actually enjoying their meal. When's the last time you saw that at Panda Express? But here's the part that made me a believer: the service. While you wait, they offer free snacks, drinks, and I'm not making this up, manicures at a restaurant. The servers are trained for months. They know every ingredient, every sauce combination, every cooking time. They care about your experience in a way that's almost uncomfortable for Americans. A Haidilao server told me, in China, hot pot is about community. It's about sharing. It's about taking time to enjoy food. We're bringing that here. The ingredients are insane. Wagyu beef sliced paper thin, fresh seafood, handmade noodles, vegetables that were picked this week, not last year. For health? This is as good as it gets. Nothing is pre-fried, no mystery sauces. You're literally boiling fresh ingredients in broth. It's the healthiest way to eat Chinese food possible. Customer reviews are religious experiences. This changed how I think about Chinese food. I drove 2 hours to eat here and would do it again. Canceled my Panda Express app after eating here. Yes, it takes longer. Yes, it's an experience, not a quick meal. But that's the point. Food should be an experience. It should bring people together. It should make you feel good, not guilty. Haidilao isn't just serving food. They're serving a completely different philosophy about what fast food can be. Look, here's what this investigation taught me. The chains I told you to avoid, they're not going to change. Panda Express makes too much money serving sugar sauce covered everything. These companies have decided that cheap and fast is more important than good and healthy. But you have a choice. Every time you choose Payway over Panda Express, you're voting for quality. Every time you try pick-up sticks instead of mall food court Chinese, you're saying you care about what you eat. Every time you spend an evening at Haidilao instead of grabbing takeout, you're choosing experience over convenience. The best Chinese food will always come from that hole-in-the-wall place in Chinatown, where nobody speaks English and the menu is handwritten. But for the times when you need something quick and reliable that won't make you feel terrible, now you know where to go. I know some of you Panda Express loyalists are ready to fight me in the comments. Bring it on. Tell me why you love paying $12 for sugar-coated mystery meat. Drop a comment. What's your Chinese food horror story? Have you tried any of the good places I mentioned? And seriously, try hot pot this weekend. Your taste buds will thank me. Until next time, stop eating garbage just because it's convenient. You deserve better.